Hi everyone and welcome back to There's No Such Thing as Normal. So today I thought I would talk about something that I think is really important, and that is some misconceptions and fears that people have around mental health medication. So that could be medication for any sort of mental health condition. So, it could be anxiety or depression or any mental health condition that you might take medication for. And I think people do have certain fears and worries around these types of medications and their effects. So I thought I'd talk about those in detail and, explain it and hopefully put people's minds at ease, really. So the first one is that these medications will change your personality. They'll make you somebody that you're not, they'll affect who you are. And I think they don't generally do that. I mean, obviously, we all respond to these types of medications differently. And if one doesn't agree with you, then yes, you might find that it does, affect your personality. But they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't affect who you are. They should make your life easier and improve the quality of your life. And when they're working properly, make your personality shine through, because if you're really anxious or depressed or whatever you're struggling with, then you're not really yourself, and your personality does kind of get a bit lost. I know that can happen. It's happened to me. If you're feeling really bad, then you're not really going to be yourself. So if your condition is improved, then you're going to be more like yourself. If the medication's right for you, there are loads of different ones, and some just don't work for certain people, and that's kind of just how it is. Another one is that you might be afraid that they're going to dull your emotions and make you not feel anything. And again, it is something that can happen, but if you're on the right one, it shouldn't happen. That isn't what they're designed to do. They're designed to help your mood, lift your mood, make you feel more balanced, less anxious, just feeling better mentally. But I'm on an antidepressant, and I definitely still feel emotions. I feel good emotions, I feel bad emotions, I can laugh, I can cry, I can do everything that I did before, just without feeling constant, overwhelming anxiety. Actually, I feel like for me, when I'm that anxious, all I can feel is anxiety. I don't feel any happiness, I don't really feel anything else. It's all consuming anxiety. So in a way, once that is, taken down a few notches and it's much more manageable, I actually think I feel more of the positive, good emotions, because the anxiety isn't taking over. So if anything, I feel like it gives me a wider range of feelings, not just the one feeling of anxiety. I feel everything more that the anxiety was basically hiding or sort of taking over, sort of takes over, and you can't feel anything. I think another one is that you feel like you might become reliant on medication to function. I mean, this is a big one for me. I think I do feel like I'm reliant on my antidepressant, in a sense of, if I'm not taking it, my anxiety is so bad that I can't really function properly, and I feel absolutely awful. But I don't think that really means I'm reliant on it. I think it just means that the medication helps me to feel better and improves the quality of my life. It doesn't mean that I'm reliant on it. It's literally that all the medication is doing is boosting my serotonin or whatever, which is your feel-good brain chemical, which in my case, it must be, it must be low, because, or, low levels of serotonin are affecting my mental health, because the medication helps. It boosts the happier hormone, which makes you feel better. And I don't think that just because it helps me, I don't think that means I'm reliant on it. It just makes my life better. And if it makes my life better, then I really don't see a problem. And also, it's not like you can, I've got to add this. Yes, I do take an antidepressant, but it's not as if I just take that and don't do anything else. I have therapy and I have other coping strategies that I use. But I feel like when you're taking these medications, it actually allows you to be able to use those other coping strategies, because for me at least, if I'm not taking it, my anxiety is so bad, I genuinely can't even do any of the things that help because I'm just too anxious in the first place to even do anything about it. So at least if it's my anxiety is not so bad, I can actually, you know, use the coping strategies, go to therapy, get the most out of therapy. And if anything, it makes you more able in the long run to learn new skills that can help and, delve into it and see what's causing the anxiety and things like that. So I don't really think it's about being reliant. It's literally about taking something that helps, and if it helps, it does. And there's no, it doesn't mean that you're bad, or that, this brings me on to the fourth one, is that, if you feel like you fail, you can feel like you're failing, or that you're weak, or you're just not strong enough, or you just can't handle it. We feel like we should. But, well, think about it this way. If you have a physical health condition, like, I don't know, anything, you could be in pain, you could have any long-term physical condition, you're not going to sit there and think, oh, I'm weak, I just can't cope with this pain, why can't I cope with this pain? You won't do that. You'll just go and, maybe take a painkiller, or if your doctor tells you to take medication for a long-term physical condition, you're not going to sit there and tell them, oh, I feel like I failed, really, why can't I cope with this myself? I mean, you just don't. So what's the difference? I mean, physical and mental health, it's not like mental health is less real than physical health. It's just as important, and we know that, because if your physical health is good, then it can improve your mental health. If your mental health is, you're struggling with your mental health, it'll affect your physical health. They're not these two separate entities. They are one. It's your health, your overall health, mental, physical. It doesn't matter. It's your well-being. It's everything. It's your body. It's your mind. It's they work in harmony with one another. It's not about being weak. It's not about, oh, I just can't cope with it. It's that you're struggling, and mental health is a real thing. It's not like just because you can't see it. It's not like someone's got a broken arm or something you can't see. You can see they've got a broken arm, but you can't see mental health. It doesn't look like anything, but that doesn't make it not real. It's it's just as real, because it's just because it's in your head and you can't see it physically. Obviously, you can see it in people's behavior and things, but I mean, you physically can't see it, not like you can with a broken arm or something. It doesn't make it less real. It's just as real, and it's you're not weak. You're just struggling with something like anything else. There's no reason to put yourself down or feel like you're not doing something right. It is the way it is. I mean, yeah, so many people take mental health medications. It's not an uncommon thing, and I think sometimes you can feel like you're the only one, but you're really not, because people just don't walk around and say hi. You don't introduce yourself. Well, hi, my name is whatever, I'm this many years old and blah blah blah, I like this and I like that, oh, and by the way, I take antidepressants. People just don't say that. But just because people don't say it doesn't mean that they don't take them. And it also doesn't mean that people don't struggle. We think that we're the only ones, but we're really not. And I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves of that, and the amount of other people that take them, and it makes you feel like you're not alone, because other people have the same struggle. So basically, I hope this has been useful, and yeah, remember, you're not alone. There's no reason that you should feel like you failed, because you haven't. Mental health medications are there to help. They're there to make life easier. They're there to improve the quality of your life, and they're also there to enable you to access other types of support and therapies that you might not be able to do otherwise. They shouldn't change who you are if you're on the right one. They shouldn't dull your emotions. It's really about finding what's right for you, working with your doctor, and just going with it, really. Some people have to try loads. If you've tried one, then don't give up. There's lots of other options. But I feel like the more people talk about it and just be open about it, the better. And hopefully over time the stigma will improve, and we've come a long way for sure. But I just thought I'd make this video, and yeah, I hope it's been helpful. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Thoughts?